Hello guys, I'm Johnny back with another video, and today we are going to show you how you can install Codeigniter Simplicity to your already existing Codeigniter project. Codeigniter Simplicity is basically a Codeigniter template library. In my perspective, Codeigniter should already have this at the core behavior, and this is mainly because it's straightforward and all the CMS or the website that you are creating needs a template library. So first of all, before downloading it, let's go through the website really quickly. So here we are at the website of Codeigniter Simplicity. You can find the Codeigniter Simplicity through Google as well by writing Codeigniter Simplicity. Or you can typically search for template Codeigniter library, and there you can find at the first result you can find the Codeigniter Simplicity. So let's go really quick through the website. You can see what it's all about, the download link, the installation of how to install it that we will go today step by step, some basic steps of how to install it and how to use it, and the API. So typically there are 7 or 8 functions, and that's it. So it's pretty easy to install it and to use it. And you can also of course see the demo with some code examples of how to use it and which code was used and how. So basically all the examples that you can see at the website, you can also see it by downloading it, and I'm using a very simple template of the Bootstrap so you can easily understand what is going on with a few tips. So let's go and download the latest version of the Codeigniter Simplicity and actually open it to see what the folder includes. So basically the only real files that we are interested in is application. If we go to core, and this is the two libraries that we are mostly care about. So the others is just to have a full complete example, but basically these are the only two files that it is required to install. So basically now let's go to a demo website. Currently I just created really an empty folder, so we can install really quickly Codeigniter and then Codeigniter Simplicity. So we're going to codeigniter.com, typically download the latest version. And the Codeigniter installation is pretty easy. You just copy the files really and it works. So that's why I wanted to start from scratch. So opening the folder, copying the files, going to demo, and that's it really. So now we are ready to see the welcome page of Codeigniter. So it's typically localhost demo, and you can see welcome to Codeigniter. So we typically know that we installed Codeigniter to our project. Now, in order to install Codeigniter Simplicity, as I told you, it's very simple. You are actually going to the downloads where you did not download Codeigniter Simplicity, go to application, core, and you are actually collecting the two files from core, and then go to your demo site, application, core, and you are pasting the two libraries. So now Codeigniter automatically picks up the loader and the output, and it's actually extending its functionality. So you don't have to do any other installation. So the good thing is that for your already existing project, if you do not do anything at all, it just installed to your project without breaking any other parts. But now for the demo, I will copy all the files that we have in the example, so you can see a full demo of the files with some already existing files. So let's have two screens now. So here is the demo at the one side, and at the other side we'll have the Codeigniter Simplicity folder. So here we are going to install one by one just to see what we are installing. So controllers is just an example controller in order to see by your own. Then we have the libraries. This is an optional libraries to auto-load some stuff of Codeigniter. This is really useful, and I will load the link below in order to learn more about it. But it's really cool, and I think you should use it in all your Codeigniter projects. Anyway.
And then we are copying the views. The views is one of the most important parts, as the themes is the basic themes that you will use. And also we are copying the assets folder, that it's basically just some CSS and JS files. So for our project we are copying all the assets folder, as the assets folder doesn't exist.
We can actually see the example because we've installed all the file. We will have a small issue that I want you to see, and we will resolve it really fast. I just did that on purpose so you can see. So it's demo index PHP / the example that it is the controller, so it's the same either to do like this. So here you can actually see the template. You can't see the assets folder, and this is basically because if you page source it, you can see that the localhost is not installed. If that happens, that's a pretty simple solution. You are going to application, config, and then you can go to the config.php and actually install the your demo base URL. So we're basically copying this, and this is now our basic URL. So now if we refresh the page, you can see that all the assets are working and the links as well. So this is nothing more than the example that I have at the website, but so typically we are done. We've installed Codeigniter Simplicity with the views, but in this tutorial I want to explain you one by one some basic functions and how to use it. So here we have the home page that it's at the example 1. So this is typically means that we are at the controller example and example 1 function. So if we go controller, example is the controller, and then we can go to the example 1 that it's our basic function. As you can see, we haven't done anything extremely difficult. It's just this load view, and we just added an init function that it's called at the construct, so it's called every time, and typically have the Codeigniter Simplicity enabled. So if we remove these lines, you can see that your controller without the Codeigniter Simplicity will look something like that. So without adding any extra code, you just have this load view as you know it. But with adding a template, you are adding let's name it decorator to your view, and instead of a simple page you have your template as well. So just to make it really easy for you, we're gonna remove this function for now. So let's say that this is your project, and we have the example1 function that you have typically your view. So here we are not doing nothing more than output, and here we have the set template, and we are adding the name of the template. So this is the default one. So when we are setting a template and we are saying the default, we are referring to views, then themes. So it is important for all your themes to be installed within the folder themes, and there you can find the default.php. So basically, when we are referring here to default, we are referring to views, themes, default. If here I will write simple, it's like referring to views, themes, simple.php. So let's see the default without some extra JS. We can refresh it, and we can see that the design is the same, but the JavaScript, for example, the extra libraries of like jQuery and Bootstrap, we haven't installed it yet. So in order to do that, we just need to do this load JS and install the JS that you have. So here basically we are installing the already existing one that we have. So jQuery, Bootstrap, Transition, etc. So here the JS folder, and of course the same thing we are doing it for the CSS. It is starting from your base URL. So make sure that you have configured the base URL to make sure that your assets folder is working correctly, and all the URLs about site URLs are working as expected. For example, here, if you go assets, you can see themes, default, JS, etc. It is a good practice to have the same folder structure as you have it in views. So for example, if you want assets for the default, to have it at the default folder, or if you want to have the simple folder, to have the asset for the simple template. So now if we refresh the page, we can see that the JavaScript are working correctly because we've added the JavaScript files. And if you go to page source, you can see that everything is installed correctly. So now maybe some of you didn't still realize the simplicity of the library. So I will go step by step to see what the themes are including. So if we open the default PHP to see what it's included inside. So again, this is from the example, so you can typically copy the code from there. So as I'm saying, copy from here to here. You typically copying this to your project in order to have the correct behavior. Here you can also, as a good practice, you can take the script and have it at the bottom of the template as a better practice, of course. So let's do that in order to see that it's not a big change. And here we are exporting the meta tags that I will show you the function of that. And then we have the CSS files, the canonical meta tag, and then we have the CSS files, and we have the SEO title. Apart from that, it is really basic to have the output. So here, the most important part about everything is to have echo output. So whenever you have this, it means that all this load view we load there. I have a pretty simpler example. So for example, the blank theme can be an example of how easy you can implement things. So basically, I know that some people may be still confusing. I did do 3 steps really. So the step 1 is install the files to your project, create your own theme, and try it and enjoy. So let's create our own theme and see how it works from scratch. So here we have the blank page, just for us to understand how everything is working. So instead of having the default page, we will have the blank page. So if we do a refresh at our page, we can see that the view was appeared here. And if we will do a page source, you can see the scripts are loaded here. Here is the output. And here, because we don't have any CSS, we haven't loaded any CSS yet. So our view here is CI Simplicity example 1. So if you go CI Simplicity example 1, you can see this code. If this is confusing to you, we can remove this. And instead of this, we can write hello world. Why not? And see hello world. So now if we will add our CSS, so as you can see, I also have an autocomplete. This is because it installed the libraries autoload. So assets, themes, default, CSS, something.css, it doesn't matter, it's just for you to see it really. We had an error. So it's good to know, I'm sorry I didn't remember that. If the PHP will not find the file, it will throw you an error. So now if we refresh the page, we can see we can locate the style sheet file. So this is good in order to remind you that the file doesn't exist. So you either need to remove it or install it differently. Of course, so let's go and instead of something, just write bootstrap CSS and refresh it again. You can see that this is installed correctly. Of course, you can also add external URLs. So for example, you can install the CDN of jQuery. Just make sure that you are including the HTTP at the beginning. So you can have the copy here and this load JS. And there you can actually see that we've also included this code. You can of course find all the functions at the website. So for example, you can see the output set template, unset template, that we can explain it now how it works. So the unset template is simply disabling the template. So if you go at the already existing example, as we can see, the template is there with the hello world at the view. So if we refresh it, you can just see the hello world, the content really that it has at the view. So if we remove it again, we can see the template as easy as that. Then we have the load section and the load get section that we will explain in a bit. The load.js and the load CSS that we just explained. And then we have some output set meta tags. So the most important meta tag that I can show it to you right now, for example, is the meta description. Sorry, this was wrong. So simply adding description here is a description, and then you can see at the page source, you can see that the meta description is there. And now I'm going to show you how the load section is working. A lot of people ask me this specific function, so we will go step by step just to make sure that you understand what we will do. So the section is pretty easy. So first of all, we are making sure that we have a section at our page. So let's say that we are using the simple, let's say, template, that the only thing that I really added is the copy code at the top, and then I've just added some links really, and then the output. So now this is the output, and here we are echoing the content sidebar that doesn't exist yet. So let's go to our example. Let's add some JS and CSS there. Add it as simple, and let's see what it will happen. So here, as you can see, everything is loaded as expected. The links also are there. So this is basically a menu of the theme and the hello world. As you can see, we've added a section that doesn't exist. So if you've added a name that doesn't exist, it doesn't throw an error. It is clever enough to just input a blank string really. So now we are going to create this section. And the section is typically as simple as this: load section. So the very first thing is the section. So we are saying, let's say that this is a sidebar, and then we are adding the string as we should do at this load view. So I will be more specific to that. So let's say we are creating a new view. So we are creating a view with name just an example.php. Or you know something, let's name it sidebar.php, why not? And let's write here, this is a sidebar. So here, as you can see, we can add this load section sidebar, and then sidebar.php. So typically, instead of doing this, sidebar.php, you're adding it as a section. So the first argument is the second, etc. So let's load a simple view just to understand. So here the view is just a view that it's loading. But if you load it as a section, you can see it as a section. So for example, if you go at the simple theme and add some extra parameters here, you can see it there. You can add as many as sections as you like, and you don't have to worry if the section is not loaded. As you can see, just showing it as empty.
So yeah guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you like the video. This will help me a lot to do other videos as well and improve myself. Have a comment below if you have any questions or comments. All the links are at the description, so if you want any link about anything that I detail at this tutorial, you can have it, and see you at the next video. Bye!